Alright, I wish I'm Mama Kwaba Abo dia sympathy. You must for dia sympathy. Trading for be quite near me here and dear. Me did this on way. Sanson and Miss Memoye. I wish I Kwame Bediako a bra of water region. Now on him Mabun Ecosia, say obey or more how I adore Mosono. And common idea the last part and I made a bro. A whole much interesting. My person knew me. You been out at every video no reaction kakra a ewo ho no yetumi area to we dey enche ho ba ansa na ebe commercial say na need dey kan washi odi asempa tv a oba subscribe to channel na share na like invite afoforo mo meka busi ko say na be ya abre na abia the video foforo edit ma on sa be kan bi na wahwe efe e bia wo ye be ma o mema say men ko yodi boss wa ni wa jira mu ne onya yodi asempa manpower ye odi asempa special manpower and so ewo honum eno no your person mu ye kese o person ni mu yedu na otumi gina so eche make an ebia na wo de no atwen kodom yare e na mana basa awo ho da adwen diabetes asthma stroke hepatitis B and etete wa pure organic I me an the CEO of the Asempa Spiritual and Health Center my number dey go as your no ebia wo so nkrata self e na enkoyi fa number no na fa frame Yentie na Kwame Bediako ensem no na reaction a ewo hon yemfa ema.
If you become president, how are you going to select ministers and how do you work? What? If you select ministers from other political parties. And lastly, all you alter.
Okay, thank you. I think I'll answer you quickly so the next person can ask your question. So first of all, there is nobody who has become successful, rich, wealthy, and they already had a blueprint or a design for the house they were going to build if they got money. You know, great thinkers don't think like that. They think about how they're going to create the wealth first. But when they create the wealth, they're going to be open to the world. You're going to have 100 different types of designers, architects, all of the people to choose from. How many of you have seen like a star when they come out of a place? There's so many people trying to take pictures or interact with them. You see, you have choices when you're successful. First of all, the first important thing that you need to do is how do you get there? Because you know, I want everyone in this room to understand one thing. It's going to take balls to walk in the room. But when you walk in the room, it's going to take brains to remain in there. Because the people who are stuck in the room are very brainy. And if you're not smart and intelligent at the same time, they'll kick you out of the room. So that's what I have. I have the balls and I have the brains to enter the political sector, and when I'm there, I will choose from who I like. I will choose whether anybody is welcome, whether you're NDC, MPP, as long as you fit for the job, you're ready to come. But the first, let me take the mantle. Once I take it and I'm holding it in my hand, that's when you see the kind of man I am. That's when you feel the power in me. And then there was a last thing that you said. You asked me if I'm going to change the constitution. I am not going to change the constitution. Changes does not happen overnight. I am going to start by reviewing the constitution and adjusting it so it's suitable for all of us. Thank you. Prosper is trying to find out how would my constitution not become a violent, reviewing the constitution will not become, you know, a violent demonstration that can affect the nation. And of course, anyone that wants to review a constitution for the sake of the people and for the sake of the country have the people's interest at heart. And therefore, he's not taking the decision for his own interest. He's taking the decision to the constitution to make the people's life become better. And so that, Prosper, will not happen. Okay? We want to do things peaceful. You know, we want to be peaceful and we want to be very vigilant, but at the same time, we have to be astute. and we have to look into things, is fairness. I believe with my political ambition, although I'm not a politician, but as a leader, I believe in equity, equality, and empowerment. The triple E. Okay? Equity, equality, and empowerment. So everything we're going to do would evolve around these three things. Thank you.
My question is 78 billion in the amount of gold houses, if I get it right. How do you think this amount of money in our resources remain undiscovered? And how can it be done?
Thank you. Thank you, Cyril. Second one.
And my second question is, as a Rotarian individual, some individuals in voter ID say independent of voter. What is your say on this?
But here's how I'll make sure the 78 billion is attained and is remained. First of all, I think it belongs to the Voltarians. So if we're going to do anything, we're not going to do it as the current institutions of our country are dealing with the foreign entities by introducing them to concessions in the regions and not making the regional local content to be a part of it. We want the local content to be the owners, the manufacturers, the producers, because we want that skill set to remain in the country. We don't want people to come in, put their plant, and if it's a Chinese company, they bring 20 Chinese men that know the main thing, and then hire 100 working men that don't know anything. And when they dissolve their machine and they go, you still don't know what cocoa can do. I would rather that we create. So it's owned by the government with the private sector. The government's share could be national capital. The private sector share could be two things. It could be self-fund capital, one, and then the second thing could be the skills as well. So now this will circulate in the Volta region, meaning that by the end of the year, if that so-called titanium or methanol or ethanol is turned around here, the money circulates here. Whether you're going to Ministry of Energy or Ministry of whatever, the business is here because this is where the plant will be and this is where the jobs will be. And the people who are working within the plants are the people who are creating the wealth. The people who are trading the mineral are the same people who are from here. So we don't want to sell and give our things to outside anymore. We want to do it ourselves. Thank you.
How are you going to involve person with disability in your politics? Because we are part of the constitution. I realize that Ghana has a law that in every constitution, in every community or place of job with disability must be there for 5 things. Now we don't see the effect of the law. How put that into order for it to be an advantage for us? Thank you.
You know, and one of them is called One Leg. He has a tricycle Uber business, you know, and became very successful. So before even getting into the government, it's been in my interest to help some of it playing. Now, when it comes to sports, I think the likes of Chelsea and Manchester United and all of this, yeah, wait. It's taking so much from us. I'm telling you something. You know, I already told you, FIFA is the biggest media in the world. And some of FIFA's signed clients is Manchester United or Chelsea. And some of Manchester or Chelsea's fans that makes them the money is probably most of the people in this building and outside this building and all around the world. So you see, when you're looking at it from the top, and it's triggering to the bottom, people people like to invest in great ideas. Why haven't we turned our football teams to great ideas? And what I'm sharing with everybody in this room, when you have industrial mind, is because you're thinking globally. I would industrialize our football teams as well. Because if we are not able to create anything like a continental premiership that will enter the FIFA system for people to be able to view us in China, in India, then we're not part of the game. I am trying to make sure you produce the cocoa into the seed that becomes powdered chocolate, cocoa butter, so you can sell around the world. It's the same thing I will be thinking of when it comes to sport. How to nurture the teams and let them become continentally known. So China would want to find out about some Kotoko team in Ghana, but they're showing it in Nigeria, they're showing it in Algeria, they're showing it in Miami. That's where we need to go industrial with everything, and then it solves the problem. Trust me, people, industrialize your mind. Even if you don't see industrialization occurring anytime from tomorrow, start industrializing your mind. That is the best way. The best way, even to industrialize your mind right now, you apply economy of scale to the little money you're holding. It's very important, and we were not raised like that. So I want to encourage all of you to go into that thinking, to go into that world and prepare for the revolution. Thank you.
And I would like to ask you, how will we solve our accessibility issues? And when I say accessibility issues, it's about education, not only mobility, education, having access to our mobility gadgets, and transportation, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so when you think about your people and not your party, it impacts your town planning, your city development. So in Europe, they're not thinking about a party. When you go to Dubai, the sheikh is not thinking about any party because he's probably not leaving the chair in 2 years. He thinks about the nation and the country. When you think like that, all of these things becomes part of the city master plan development. The only reason why you're lacking this is because people who are standing for only the party and their interests have become the position that they want to be in, they invest every money in that particular thing. And therefore, you and me, we're not in the equation. I am here to be in the equation of your concerns, your needs. So I will be looking for people that can help me to develop the country, to make it at least a second class to a first class country from a third world country. Thank you.
Yes, sir, please. Your name, then your question.
My name is
Start with the first one. What am I doing for Africa so they don't run out of food? Okay, but you mentioned agriculture. There is the agric and there is the culture. Okay, in case they didn't tell you that in school. There is agro processing. And when you start the processing, it comes with the culture. The culture is the packaging. The culture is the recipes. How you add one thing to another and package it and sell it. What we're doing right now is strictly agric, farming. So we are not into the processing of our product. And the processing is industrialization. That's all. That's what I'm saying. That's what we're lacking as a country. When you acquire a plant and you find a source of energy and put it in one location, and then you put either cocoa seed or cassava in it, and it grinds it, it grabs it, it squeezes it, it takes the water out to be starch, then it takes the aftermath to be gari, then it takes this one to be something. That is, you're industrializing the product. So that's what we're not doing. And how stupidly as a continent in 2024 to still be importing food from outside to eat when we have the most vastest of land to plant the food and to actually process it? Come on, when you think about it, it looks like we're not thinking as a nation. We want people to go and take our cocoa and go and turn it into something. Take our cassava, go and turn it into something and bring it. They take our gold, they go and polish it and come back and sell it. They take your oil, they go and refine it, come back and sell it to you. Come on. If it's your leaders who are sitting down watching that to be done to you, I'm sorry, you're not being led. Yes, you're not being led. You're more or less blind. You don't know where you're going. You're going to be hopeless. This is very simple. That the Chinese can do that job for us. Instead of bringing them to invade us, they should work for us. That's what freedom does. I will let you work for me. I will bring you from outside and you will work as hard as my black person is working as hard in your country. I will do the same thing. And I will not import the food. I would export the food to you. This is the kind of leadership you need, with or without me. That's how you need to think. You know, you need to bottle whatever they are throwing on you, bottle it back, sell it to the person and let them drink it. That's how life should be. If we don't do that, we're going to go into starvation and we're going to go back into slavery. And I'll give you an example. Ghana is running out of cocoa. You know why? Because the Chinese have started taking our cocoa and then they started cloning the seed and injecting it. And now when you plant the cocoa, once it dies. And so now, all of a sudden, China is producing cocoa. How? And cassava. And your leaders are sitting there watching them. And you think you have a future. Your cocoa, God gave it to you. Your gold that God gave it to you is on your land. You sat there for someone to come and take it out and come and tell you how to eat it or how to use it. Now he's killing it and he's keeping the actual copy that God gave you. And he's giving you a clone to plant. And you are saying that I'm in the university and I'm acquiring a degree to something agriculture. Please, get with the home sense. Get some wisdom and some knowledge and some courage. And stand up and save your nation. You know, let's not be talking all this big English and big words, thinking that that is the main thing that will save us. It will not feed us. Let's face the reality. Please. You asked a second one about the capital for the youth and investing in them. It's just very important to have funding. We always wait for aid, and it's not the right way. We can create our own fund. We can do crowdfunding. We can do reserves funding, capital funding, a lot of types of funding, and it can come from amongst ourselves. If we decide to do Farmers Association funding and they decide it's 1 million of them and they're putting 10 cities every month, that is 10 million cities every month. In 1 year, it's 120 million cities. There is no processing plant that you can't put in 2 regions. And if that is an association, within a year, that money will become maybe 500 million in returns. We are refusing to use our minds like investors and developers. We're just trying to sit like workers and beggars. Please, I beg your pardon. Like I said, I came here to give you hope. Get up inside your spirit. Get up and make a change. Think big. Dream big. You're going to dream anyway. So you have nothing to lose. And you need to think anyway. So think hard. Making money today is hard thinking. It's not hard working. Thank you. Kofi, I just want to ask Kofi a question back. So I went to no, you can hold it. I went to a radio station this morning when I came to Ho, and he, funny enough, was the presenter. So I don't know why he chose this place to come and ask me this question when he asked me 18 questions within 35 minutes. He was asking, I thought he was speaking tongues. So why didn't you ask this question? I mean, that a lot of people would have heard that answer than here. Why didn't you? Were you sent? You were sent. You were not sent because of the limit. So it was the last one. But I thought you said in your question it's very important for the nation. So how could that be the last important question you asked? Okay. Well, I think I'm going to answer Kofi's question for him. Although, like we said, we can skip that. But look, do we all have mothers here? Do we all have fathers here? That's our culture. We were born by a man and a woman. And that's the way we should grow up. If somebody keeps telling you about this, why don't...
Hey, baby, I drew on. Nana Kwame Bediako and come our DNA about industrialization. And industrialization now, what can at this point, say we are gonna any mappa. Or train your mind, ye. Na say we na on tiasia. Na mi hu ni obeti ase bio. Say nya politics. Ana say pesa minkunya kakra bia ye de gu bottom. Ana say wo fi say on free me mama abusuam, on free me papa abusuam, there be we dey me ne bo atipen. Ah we kra anya hwe me chi ni panyi, anya hwe me kuta degree e chen no. Enti e na wonte na se e dia then at this point we hu nie ye be ka kire obi ma obeti na se. Because on my be ko na animu a e industrial. And also no watching ma ye koko e na wo ka no. There be ama yesa video ya ka China for buy ye mam ha no. Nkofo we matumi aye processing machine a koko no ete egum eno akasa bo na separate koko pod no se pot o se board no koko ne hono na akasa be separate na separate aduane no a process ne kama fit ye na nanom times ya bo koko we yensemu pan me kramiti ye ma bobi ya dia koko ne ya te ye beti aguo ya pake ye wi ya fakonya tena ho ya bo ubewie kra na wusisi yes to ka ubewie no kra na sika wo meketu wa bi eno na nana Kwame Bediako kire ho se ye wo se ye nya industrial platform into we say na ka aban na dwuma okay China for to my machine we all right o de nye problem ye no mo be trade machine no e ko so say okay ebia ye koko we ye the mambo contract say yes ye share machine ni bi na ye dedicate ye nkola no so afasa machines ni ade ne eho eno na ade a wo chiro but here is the case that because I young green no nkofo we ma ba be fa ye koko no akọ and omo processi and then the powder bread omo de ni shampoo bread omo de ni way dey bread omo de ni nku omo de ni wine omo de ni like a whole lot yet o mamu ano yetumi nto milo but ukọ mu kuro ukọ ye a koko milo f wo honom collect mi di chocolate tugu ukọ abeto chocolate ba kwa ma oba na oye mo hihyew because ene Ghana ha chocolate ba ko 25 cedis 30 cedis ano ka no mu ze ye adwa for ya ye diskira ye pe ba ko bi di akoma ye nkanche ma bi no ene yetumi to sa ye no ba impinfo de kwa de high price ewa bra you produce cocoa ewo ye mamu hanom ti eno ho asem na wo ka nti ye ti ye nua be me ase na ye man opportunity no na ye ntumi industrialize your system no and baby what drew no obe answer the question but me person be breaking your maybe down one say na be ya obeti na maybe as you see obisa no abasa LGBTQ no ho asem eno na wo ka unim chese te se na make an we obi wo ho man kasa na I don't know say bia eye pa na ya born and na say ye bia bo apayo because this ya no obi mo kan sama to eradicate and I say ye mbo wasam na ntungu ntino obe find ways and means I can send bi ma obi oti a won dwen and na so no de ni obeti bia na ode na mu no na wafa no wagina so obi asama ya me gina na se me kana na Kwame ono no krasisia no Christian Council ba investigate no na ne fan a wo raise no sa LGBTQ for na de man ni ade and some of we na enim say even we your address or bad advocate say e ma ya ntuma you even find yourself as say what broken or cry to the extent say ahwekra kwenti okra no to me to be and nothing na ma ye spiritualist for ahodo bebre ye imam for na ye pray for ahodo bebre na entumi nka ho asem o makoma no atu and o the answer na Kwame Bediako the man we dey na say or support or say we need to even stop talking about it and obibi oyenyan send so beti ase identity kra na o say ye dey no ye dadwene and more na American ho asem onso wo kan ho asem we so kan ho asem and no be ma ye nkwala no kra ate and most of your youth no kiosk onyate de anya ono so be ko de no be kwa kwhye ma bi because omo project ade na amra say ye sika for na it wo do wura kwa onya sika ni ade and ni na no ye ho dede ne ye educate ye nkwala no nti o se ye ja ho asem kan and ono ne obeto so say na mama ne papa ne wo no obema example say US one be free no one e buy no buy the economy a crash on one asem na wo beka no turumu asem na obeka ba no ba no na ne kunu se ne yere edi nachi and eno na ntumi anka bibi anchere yen timamufo no ye kana na do asem a on sign say saade we ye mped wo man mu on up to now ye mbo ho wa biem na da ho no abusia yentia na Kwame Bediako asemi anu ye a wo de bae no mianya da je tie video na kosi na we ahye kakra aka no na ye de atoa so e de amount
is here. That's our culture. We were born by a man and a woman, and that's the way we should grow up. If somebody keeps telling you about this, why don't you think, why is it that all of a sudden when I go to Volta, they're asking me the same question? I go to Bekwai, they're asking me the same question. I go to Kumasi, they're asking me this. Everywhere I go, what do you think they're doing? They're educating you. They are educating you about it and our children about it. But you know, the reason why I'm answering this question is because I have somehow determined some of the stupidities that stipulate within our own constitution that regulates our country's governance. If this is what the parliament is spending their time about when we are hungry, when our economy is crashed, when we don't have jobs, and then you do so good, and you are thinking about a Western culture. This culture is in the Western world. You know, some young child will grow up and they see that my mother is a man, my father is a man. That is some miracle. It's not us. We don't know. So I don't personally believe in these things, and I think we have taken it upon ourselves because someone is convincing and influencing us to talk about it. I mean, I made one example on one of the radio stations when they asked me this question, and I chose the Vice President of America, Kamala Harris. Now, this woman came to Ghana, and I thought she was coming to talk about our financial issues because at that time we were in serious crisis. But she came to talk about LGBTQ. And when she was talking about it, her husband was standing beside her. Do you know how much of an insult that is? It's like that American whatever lady that she claims to be partly black. It's like she sees us as monkeys. To come all the way to Africa and telling us to pass a law when she is not practicing that law. And nothing to do with that. So for me, I would advise you that let's not make consciousness out of this. Let's really face the current realities, the obstacles, the issues of our country. Let's worry about the people without jobs, the children without hope, the graduates without businesses, the money that is becoming valueless, our children that are becoming hopeless. And let's stop branding the Western culture. You see, our politics is westernized. Our educational curriculum is westernized. You see, everything is westernized. And now we are all becoming democratized. Because we're looking at someone's governance, someone's clothes, someone's words. We think you're best if you speak the best of English. You know, everything is about the Western. Come on, we are Africans, we are black people. We come from Ghana, Nigeria, and we have mothers and fathers, and let's respect that, period. Thank you. One question now, because there are a lot of...
I will concentrate much on the technical universities. Because in Ghana, the concentration is on the traditional universities. But in this side, we are doing the practical work. But we suffer when it comes to searching for jobs. So let's assume like you are, let's assume you are president.
Yeah.
What are you going to do in remembering with the technical universities? And the second one was about climate change. We are all talking about climate change here and there. So what are some of the things that you do to minimize the climate? Because there's a problem in the north, the south, and the west.
Thank you. All right. So, I will start by answering the second question. I don't worry much about climate. Why don't I? Because we're so used to a lot of things. You know, I don't see recession in our country. There is no such thing as credit crunch. We've been broke for so many decades. We can't even feel it. We only want something to eat now. So some of the things, our body is already adapted and used to it. That is the Western that they're so scared that, you know, there's tsunami coming, there's tornado coming, there is something coming. Yes, I don't know what they have gone to take over. Whether it's people's gold or whatever, so they're running away from something. Climate, something is coming. Please, it's minus us. God sometimes get angry with us. He rain on us, the whole place will flood. And then give it 2 days, everything dry again. It's gone. We survive. We don't even have the machines to suck the water from the floodness. It's just, we survive. We're survivors. So I wouldn't go and put so much investment in that area. Instead, I will put investment in the area that will help your first question. Technical schools. Technical schools. Your savior is industrialization. The only reason why you're not getting jobs is because there are no technical platforms in the country. Okay? How many factories and inventions are you seeing? Okay? How many carpenters do you know that is supplying African shops? Okay? You don't understand that you are educating yourself into an industry that there is no platform or foundation for in your country. So the jobs are very little. If you find a carpenter, it's them and their family and maybe 2 more people. They do maybe 18 chairs in the whole year, meaning that they barely do 1 full furniture in a month. That is very small compared to a 33 million population. Unless you industrialize things, all of you, after your education, you would be even working part-time before you finish. And that's the answer. I think that for the technical schools, once we start to put plants, this, processes, all of these things, then they will now really educate you about these things more. Because they're probably educating you about things that all the machines are in China and Germany. And how are you going to do it? You just get a degree and you hold it for some time. There is nothing that is on the ground that can be related to what you have a degree for. If someone is doing that to you, I'm sorry. They are also taking the fees from your mother and your father, and then after, you're not going to get any job. So let's change. Let's go into industrialization, and all of these things will be rubbed up. Please go. Once I become a president, it's more my responsibility to help you than you to help me. But before I become a president, it's more of your choice to think about what favor, what contribution, or what support you can give me, and that is help. Thank you.
Supervision will help enforce what? Because you alone cannot do the work. You need supervision. So if in the Ghana we are now, all the people are corrupted. Will you keep quiet? The people are corrupted.
Should he keep quiet again? Or you should speak? All right.
If you find out that someone you put as a leader, when you are not there, is not doing what you're supposed to do to that person.
Okay. What would they do? Yes. Okay, we got it. What would I do if the people don't do what they're supposed to do when I put them in position? What do you do when you miss the target? Sack, replace. That's why there are a lot of us. You know, if God was going to make us all live forever, the world would be full. So when he gives you time and you use it, after some time, he takes you off and he replaces you. When sometimes you're not using your time right, when you become a criminal, he can take your freedom away and put you in prison for life. You know, when you try to marry two, when you don't have the money to marry two, or you have money but you want to be greedy, all the money can go and the two women to will sack you because you become useless. So it's important that we always become courageous enough to take the right decisions when the wrong things are being done. Please. Okay, thank you. Thank you. What's your name? Forgive. You're forgiven for asking this question. You're forgiven because you don't know that I am the new I am her. I am the one. You don't need to borrow money anymore. I will borrow you the money. Yes. You know, I have just shared amount of knowledge with you in this place that can never be measured or priced. So we don't even need a white man to tell us what to do anymore. I am the new I am. Thank you. Again, I think I'm answering everyone's question because everybody is going in circles with industrial. Health is going to be industrialized. Okay? If you create medicine in your country and you put the dosage and you do the research, you understand what industrialization really means. You're going to miss some petrochemicals with that medicine. You're going to miss some herbals with that medicine. You're going to do a lot of things and dosage it and package it and sell it worldwide. So very interesting that will happen once we go into industrialization. Thank you very much. Let me ask the ladies quickly. And Antisan and Banamutia. Mudna question back boom. And the masma of Beman is home baby sa. Nanka ayesika mi pese mi huni anko babeje. I want to know if it was money, would they send you? Today you have taken a t-shirt from me from somewhere. Well, you were not in the market? Okay. I thought you were with a woman in the market. Oh, is this woman? Okay, sorry. All right, go on.
A student from Holy Spirit College of Education. And as a young teacher growing, I'm seeing the conditions and work of teachers in the country, what plans do you have in general to improve the condition of work of service of the teachers? And then what infrastructure development can we put in place to develop the education setting as a whole? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So first of all, I think teachers should have a middle income salary. Okay? If you want to educate your nation properly, please make sure the teachers are okay. You know, so I think we need to look at that side properly, but also the educational facility itself. We need to look at it by educating people to become more of industrialists, entrepreneurs, visionaries, leaders, and not workers, because it makes the teachers not so useful for the curriculum if they have to teach them only to become staffs. So I think it's one of the things that in our policy we want to introduce, how to build entrepreneurs. I go by the name Nana Kwame Bediako, and I want to thank you very much this moment for doing my listening tour with me. But I realized one thing. Out of the 23 questions that I have taken in this spot right now, and don't ask me how I was counting, I'm very good at numbers, and I'm very good with words too. I realized that people asked questions about their faculties, about the country, what about presidency, but you were not so worried about the exact opportunity that is going to come out of this region, except for one person called Cyril, who asked me a question about how these minerals will be tapped into and how that money will circulate. So I'm just saying this because I want you to keep an eye in the area you belong to. That's your world. Even some of you are not from Ho. You only came to school here. But you're better off remembering that you spent 10% or 12% of your life in this area. So you're used to this area, and this area will therefore owe you something. Your equity is here. Okay? Your equity is here. Somebody help me say that. My equity is here.
My equity is here.
Yes, so you have Ghana as a whole, as your country. That country you belong to. But you have Ho as a terrain that you invested in. You spend time here. You put your energy here. And you believe in this place. You believe in the school you're going to. That's why you're here. Please, make sure you make something out of this space, out of the network, out of the people you're in the same university with. They're going to become some of your best partners soon. You don't know. They're not just supposed to be your friends. Your network is your net worth. And I wanna end this conversation by adding to what my dear friend said, that this is the only year I think you should not sell your thumb, but you should also not lose the opportunity of using your thumb. This is a year that our lives can change and start going towards our plan. This is a year that every one of you will be entitled to vote. And don't let anybody trade your soul with money just because they think your thumb is important to what they're doing. I need you to become a true voter for a true reason why you want to change, why you think you should have a say in the rest of the years that you have on this earth. This is the country that your voice counts and your thumb counts. So I would like to encourage all of you that take a decision. Not only that man who is in front of the t-shirt you're wearing or standing in front of you, but take a good decision that you will be accountable and responsible for that decision, because for the next 8 years, that decision, for the next 8 years, this decision will determine where you're going in life, and you need to be part of it. Thank you very much. God bless you.
All right, it's Abushia. Nana Kwame Bediako. Message or the banner, just say me. I bring a baby. I make us say me tie enu abema we around. Unim. Or the young fan say. Why yes, our politicians na omudwo manum mi bi kra na. Ye man Nana Kwame Bediako chance a. Ye lusu hwi yo. Nemo ye gaining bibi. But in Kofua, ye koso more chance ye repeat here. Ni ye lusu niema MPP NDC. Because ye ni momo dada. But ye man Nana Kwame Bediako chance na. Ye nhwehwe. And meno minim say we are going to get enough benefit. Obi a ne da ye so eso say Abibia ye tie nwoma hodo o say dream big as the ocean. Nana Kwame Bediako dream card there, I think say is even bigger than the ocean itself. And black man ye mentality say bibini dia oya enye ye chi se broni na eje no. I think say it's a time I was say you eliminated that black mentality no. Nana Kwame Bediako video we America na anye video bi e ko vera anka. Nkofo befa or say our dream say ye bisa na about aviator e bi omni aviator about share plane ne e hon ke ka ho de no, and or say oh no ni dream no is more than about pirate say obe two plane every Ghana akọ ebia South Africa, Nigeria, Congo, ene Italy, India ne ade no. But of vision say ye benya pirate into categories near your space. Even say I was say we have to have our own network. But as we say, bibinity obeka say bay. As some ben our can say, yeah, they to be creating networks as a man ye. Aden adwena da wu trimonye bia na da kwasi broni trimo anan. Unim aya no bi sole ahan na Kwame Nkrumah esore no pama abrofo na ko so ma abrofo ne tra ha no na mo chichiri kuro no. God damn it. Wo adwena wanfa. Intelligence say wo wuti ufie wuntumi manage ufie just obi na free ni fie ba manage ufie de ma. Osaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah say black man is capable of taking care of his own affairs. Eso bibini na kasa na oka asa ama no sa bibini na still was on tiase this e kwasi broni na asa wa ye bibi de ama no. It's time na was ye change your mentality no. Yen ya na Kwame Bediako message a won de ba na ye message a me say mo oduma ga na fa adwen no, and I think say or say olowa no obasa MPP NDC former sage nibi. Na if you know take the tesenyo kan na the marathon no okuta then ho na obe show the capacity and answer the ability no, because the message is heavier for the Ghanaians. I think say no any identity magana for internet say message ni mo do more. Abusha message so subscribe to channel share na like invite akofo no make am bio ko no. Wo problem bi say yesu suma fam na ma fam yare say ye hunhum yare na say sunsum yare no. Me medwa manum bebre emfa nchro fa me number dey go as your 054 3304976 Macron.
Ano kwamo mienka na awodi nipa pina ekwa tete mu pao amani pampempema wale agu odia sampa spiritual and herbal center awo wo mo yade se wo mbe mu wanya basisi a yade bi tse stroke gonorrhea anabama wale mre e wampamu low sperm count wo mo wano aduro tatahwe ene je sam ne se sabane sunsumu nsama wo mo telete se ye sunsumu aware anasa yare bi ne yade amawo pampabone anabo ana wanya abai amane e court case wo betu charge osisi a enam omadwuma panti ni pampempem ene be fo bokofie ekoye sunsumu nyuma edemom se mosini ene enzimani akabom dia sunsumu niama asie betu obi age wukunu anasa woyere awaresem adwumasem akwantuom nsem ni nyina ayasumasem fabadan odia sampa spiritual and herbal center obehuyan of
New Kufuria ejoso ne konongo infinfin aye Ashanti region ehon ma number aye didi juma no aye 054 330 4976 anase 020 134 0421 054 330 4976 anase 020 134 0421
Odia Sampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. You be do us some amount.